All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to acknowledge a couple concerns that people have. Number one comes from this comment from Ed12085. Thank you for being subscribed for 2 months, it looks like. I appreciate you. But this comment's fascinating because I've gotten this a lot over the last couple of months and with AMC going through this court process. He says, how could this be good? These court issues could cause bankruptcy. The shorts want more delays. They most likely are pushing for more lawsuits to extend the reverse split to force AMC into bankruptcy. Wonder where your head is at. And while this, I guess, could be true if everything AMC has said is a lie, meaning that every earnings report that we have gotten over the last almost year now, AMC is speaking positively, talking about getting to a place of free cash flow and ultimate profitability by the end of really this year. They should be consistently free cash flow positive. Now, what that means is they would have enough money coming in to not need to raise capital. Sure, they might not be in the best place and those interest payments are still going to hurt, but in the grand scope of things, they would not go bankrupt. And I think we're kind of past that at this current stage. I don't really think bankruptcy is a huge concern, especially as we start to get through this second quarter, because towards the end of the second quarter, in the third quarter, and specifically in the fourth quarter, you're going to have a lot of big movies going to theaters, and that's what we've seen in Q4 of 2022 with Avatar, Way of Water, with Maverick, with Top Gun Maverick, with what is it, the 007 movie that went to theaters. A couple big ones that really drove AMC and its free cash flow numbers, because AMC was actually free cash flow in the positive in the fourth quarter of 2022. So I don't really think you're at risk of seeing a bankruptcy. That's not something that I would be concerned with right now. This could be a bigger concern 3 to 6 months from now. And that's something that I really want to emphasize to you guys. It depends how the business actually does of AMC. And that's why the earnings report coming up here on May 5th will be so important to AMC. Now, on the other hand, what has this delay in the court system today done for AMC? Well, it's done a couple things, right? It's one, given us a voice, and it's going to give us a larger voice as we get closer to the end of June. That's number one. For half of this community and this cause, it's exposing the malicious practices of the stock market. Well, that, I would say, is a success. But moreover, more importantly than anything else, people want to make some money. You want to feed your family. You want to be able to take that vacation. You want to hopefully retire, right? That's the ultimate, end goal to this trade. Now, where we currently sit now has been the best. We're in the best place that we have been at in a long time. Believe that or not, even though the share price has come down a little bit, after today, you're actually seeing AMC up about 2.5%. Now, it's interesting because the Russell 2000 itself is down about 1.5% today, and AMC is the largest component of the Russell 2000. So believe it or not, you're seeing a lot of small caps and mid caps getting absolutely whacked today. It's a pretty rough day in your smaller stocks, right? Well, AMC's not feeling that. And the real problem is the shorts and their cost to borrow fees. Just delaying this 60 days is going to cost them hundreds of millions of dollars, and it's going to force each and every single one of them, especially the smaller firms, to really reconsider their positions, because there is a max gain to this arbitrage trade. The max gain is ape roughly rallying 150%. It might only be 100%. Who knows, right? That's the max gain, but you're paying out hundreds of percents every single month. The trailing 3-month cost to borrow rate is over 100%. And as we have reported in the past, the average days out on loan for these short positions is about 114 days. That means that shorts are getting absolutely washed based off of cost to borrow rates alone. And if they were a reason why AMC did drop in early April down to under $4 per share, if you shorted during that time, you're also massively down on your equity. Now, if you take a look, the dollar amount currently sold short in AMC stock is $656.57 million. Shorts lost $1.91 billion in the first 3 months of 2023 alone due to cost to borrow fees. We've talked about this a couple times, but I think it's significant when you look at the dollar amount that's currently sold short in AMC. If there was $4 billion sold short in AMC, that's not too bad. It's about 50%. When it's $650 million and you're talking almost $2 billion that was lost in 3 months, that is over 3 times the total value of short positions. That puts a lot of shorts on notice. That puts a lot of pressure on them. And if AMC stock can continue to rally after today's news of the courts being delayed, I think that's going to be a positive thing. And people are going to start to look forward to what could a new settlement look like? What could a new process look like? Because it's pretty clear after the mastery goes over all of these reports and injunctions they're getting to the courts, you're going to see a different outcome than what hedge funds were expecting. You're going to see, at the bare minimum, I'm not a financial advisor, so keep that in mind, come to your own conclusions, do your own due diligence, all that good stuff, but I firmly expect a new vote of common stockholders at the very minimum. Let's get that clear. Very minimum. It could get worse for hedge funds. We don't know. But that's at the very minimum. Now, I think today's rally is massively subdued, like I said, by the moves in the broad market. You've seen some real estate data come out today, which was actually quite encouraging. The biggest increase month over month to real estate prices, about 9.6% increase month over month. Biggest increase since August of 2022. This is bad on the front of inflation, but this is positive on the front of consumer spending and consumers going out and getting new loans to help continue to grow the economy. So you're seeing a little bit of this back and forth tug of war today that is really shaking up the markets, especially, like I said, your small and mid-cap companies, because this positive data, this positive economic data is going to let the Fed raise interest rates more than what they previously would have. Let's say if real estate was dropping 10% month over month. That would be a lot worse. And AMC is in the crossfires of one of those companies that is highly affected if the Fed continues to raise rates. Because keep in mind, if AMC does have to raise capital in 3 or 6 months, it's not going to be a problem for them to do so, but they're going to have to pay higher interest rates if the economy continues to do well and the Fed can continue to raise rates. It makes the borrowing purchasing power go down of AMC. Now, ultimately, I think this reverse split might go through. And if it does go through, AMC is going to get a lot of capital and you're going to see the MOS in that form. So I'm kind of agnostic to the whole thing. I really don't care ultimately what happens, but I do think in the short term this can be very bullish for AMC, and that is why I did make a trade on AMC today. If you guys want access to all of my trades in real time, link down below in the description of this video. We have a trade here on AMC, obviously, like I said, as well as trades on Google and Microsoft to play their earnings as well in after hours, and that's going to be another big story to this because, like I said in the last video, if you guys have not seen it, definitely go check it out. If collateral continues to be beaten down and you continue to see stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, and many more go down, that's going to put a lot of pressure on those hedge funds because they're not collateralizing cash, right? They're not just depositing more cash to service their margin maintenance. It's not margin calls, it's margin maintenance. They got to keep a 1-to-1 ratio, basically assuming that if that firm went bankrupt, the bank wouldn't lose any money. That's the best way to think about it. They're not pledging cash. They're pledging bonds. They're pledging securities and stocks, really, right? Like some of these large tech stocks. Don't forget, The rule change we seen in the summer of 2022 made it so they can only use high quality collateral. They can only use AA and AAA rated securities as collateral for AMC as well as other meme stock collateral requirements. They can't just use any old stock they have in their portfolio, any old penny stock or mid cap stock or even larger cap stock. That's not going to cut it, because what if those guys fall 50% from here? That's not going to work. So they're pledging these tech stocks that are really in the crossfires today. And based off the market weighting, you're going to have over 15% of the S&P reporting earnings here today just in after hours alone. That's equivalent to about the whole S&P's market weighting so far that has already reported earnings. So that's why everyone keeps saying this is such a big week, because it is. And I think it's very much likely you're seeing a rally in AMC stock today. It would be a lot bigger if the markets were somewhat neutral, in my opinion. AMC stock was up like 7.5% earlier in the day today. I think you probably see this rally continue over the next couple of days and the next couple of weeks. I think if this was a bearish thing, if investors felt this was bearish, there would be massive shorting pressure on AMC. I think there's going to be a lot more uncertainty over the next couple of days as investors really start to digest what happened in court. So that is basically going to do it for this video. That's what I wanted to cover. Acknowledge something that I've seen asked quite a bit about the bankruptcy of AMC. I don't think that is a concern. I don't think that is a problem. Granted, I said 3 to 6 months, really like 9 to 12 months down the line. But AMC will always be able to raise capital if they need to. But by then, I'm sure the reverse split probably goes through in one capacity or the other. It will all depend if all AMC common stockholders vote, right? If we all go out and vote and only common stockholders' votes are allowed to be counted, well, then maybe there's more doubt this reverse split would not go through. But until that happens, I'm really agnostic. I really don't care what happens. I think you get the MOAS either way. And I think over the next couple of weeks, it's going to be very bullish with AMC stock. So that is basically it. Not a financial advisor, not a financial planner, not your dad, not your cousin, not your grandma, not your uncle, not your brother, none of that. So don't listen to exactly what I say. Come to your own conclusions, take in these opinions, and help yourself formulate better overall opinions. That's what I've liked to do over the years, and it has definitely helped me out quite tremendously. So that is it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. If you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description of this video as well. Earnings season is the best season, baby. Lots of money to be made. Just got to put yourself in the right place at the right time. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.